Hello, everyone. My name is Liz, and today I'm here with Danny Rampey from Magnolia Estates. Today we're going to be talking about what is independent living and some of the questions surrounding that. Danny, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Liz. How are you?
I'm good, doing good. So can you explain to me a little bit about what is independent living?
Sure. Well, I've been in this quite a while, and independent living communities, when one comes to thinking about that and looking into independent communities, it's just say, for example, if your loved ones value their independence and isn't really in need of a lot of daily care, but they're ready to, they stop driving, they want to start, doing more things that they like to do. They're, worried about their safety, or they just want to kind of have more support and companionship. An independent living community or being in an independent living environment is what it would be a great choice. So that kind of gives you an idea of what independent living is all about. It's usually an apartment or a condominium, or generally anything like that, a small home in a village environment with a lot of amenities and say, a beauty parlor or a beauty salon, financial assistance or small financial help there on site, like a fitness program and some sort of meal program. Now, those are kind of the basics that they have, and they may even have a doctor on site. Some of them have physicians, or they bring, not on site, but they bring in physicians that just come by the facility, not necessarily to do any type of detailed clinical or medical work, but just to provide assurance or just to do some general maybe blood pressure checks and oxygen levels, sugar levels, things like that,
Okay,
so
just
that's kind of what the independent living is all about. Does that answer your question pretty well?
It does. Y'all are an independent living facility, is that correct?
That's correct. We offer independent living as a level of what you can have if you're looking to come out of your home. We offer meal plans. We offer activities. We have housekeeping available if needed. We do offer local transportation. We have on-site beauty parlors. We even have like a little concierge service. In other words, if somebody needs help with their doctor's appointments, or they need help managing, not necessarily administering, but managing their medicines or managing their clinical or medical, their doctors, things that they've got they need to do, we can help them do that. We don't go down or at our independent living facilities. We don't go and I really won't say villas, not facilities, but at our little villas, we don't go and do down there, what we do at the assisted living house or the assisted living facility. We can't, by rules and regs. We can't go down there and do the things we do down there. We do at the I call the AL facility, and but we do keep a very watchful eye on everyone. I think that's a big when it comes to people looking for an independent living environment, Liz. I think people are more concerned about security and being helped and being watched. Oversight is very important these days, especially for the elderly. They want their independence, but they want to be somewhere where they know people are. They know the owners and the staff is providing some oversight, watching what's going on around them, being aware of who's on the property, being aware of what their wants and needs are. That's what people want, and that's what they need, especially this day and time.
Mm-hmm. A little bit earlier, before the interview, you were telling me about a situation that recently happened. I think it was actually last night at one of your facilities. About a woman who had a heart attack. Is that right?
Correct. He went into cardiac arrest, and the family she'd been a little bit adamant about going to the doctor, and we'd noticed a little bit of change in her disposition, in her personality, in the way she was eating, her her not eating as much at her meal time, just watching the changes in her, and her complexion, her whole outlook on everything had kind of changed. She just, things weren't quite right, and we spend a lot of time around these people, so we know from day to day how they're going to what they're going to say, how they're going to act, how they're going to react, and what just how they are. And we could tell something was going on with her. And we tried to get her to go to the doctor. We wanted her to go to the doctor. Well, she refused to go. So we brought the son in and asked him to talk to her. And the son asked us, do you think I ought to take her to her general doctor or just run her down to an urgent care, 24-hour care facility that provides, medical needs in case you can't get to your doctor or the hospital, whatever. There's a lot of hospitals that have those around now. And he took her to urgent care. Urgent care did some tests and realized she had 90% blockage in 4 or 5 of her arteries and shot her straight to Gwinnett Medical. Well, wow. The son was absolutely elated with us. He was so glad that we noticed the change and reacted on that change and took it upon ourselves to give him a call. And, people, bless her heart, she's a sweet little lady, but sometimes it's just like you and I were talking about. People just don't want to do. They just don't want to take it upon themselves to do these kind of things, or they just don't want to do them, and they're not wanting to do them primarily because they don't feel good, and they don't, they don't. And the reason they don't feel good is because that's the reason they need to go to the doctor. Things are going on. Oxygen's not getting to where it needs to be. So anyway, I'm glad we were able to help the lady and make the son and the family members feel good about that.
Awesome, yeah. So that's one of the benefits of being an independent or even an assisted living environment is you're able to watch them and to do what a lot of, as a daughter with parents who are getting a little bit older, it's one of the things I do worry about is, my dad, who hates going to the doctor, if he should start having these symptoms, will he recognize it? And having people around who are able to recognize when something may not be right and to be able to help them out, that's a big relief.
Right.
It's a big relief for me.
You've heard the old saying, you can't see the trees from the forest sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what's going on. People just don't pay a lot of attention. They take for granted how they feel and what's going on around them, and they don't pay a lot of attention to their wants and needs till it gets to be an emergency situation. And the people around them, our staff and the people that we have working at Magnolia, which, they're trained to recognize these things and understand what's going on. They could tell that there wasn't something, she just wasn't quite right. Something was going on. And we have to assume, as professional caregivers, we have to assume that, she needs to be seen about. Somebody needs to check her out on a more professional level than what we're trained to do, in a more like a doctor or a nurse or somebody like that. But she is in the assisted living part of our facilities and care levels. She wasn't actually an independent living, an independent resident, but thank goodness she's up at our assisted living and with 24-hour oversight. That's what we provide up there, So
this is true.
I'm glad we helped them.
This is true. Let's see. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have right now for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Danny, and for answering some of my questions. For any of our listeners, if you are interested in learning more about assisted living or independent living, you can contact Danny and his team at Magnolia Estates by calling 770-212-3734 or visit them online at magnoliaestates.com.